weather machine board game. So I was sitting down here at the computer because I thought, what can I do a video on? And I was thinking the word dark, the darkness that's coming. Of course, that brought up some things. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do it on darkness because I don't want to talk about the darkness. And then I just sat here and I thought, the weather machine. That's what entered my mind, the phrase, the weather machine. So I typed in the weather machine and they have a weather machine board game. And I'm pretty sure it has all different types of weather machines that you can utilize within this board game. And why on earth would they make a board game like that if it wasn't really possible? Maybe if it wasn't possible, could they make a board game about the weather machine? I've never heard of it. Did you ever hear of it? There is talk of HARP, and there was a treaty that was signed. When was it? Back in I don't know, can't think of the date, where they signed a treaty to where they would not use, the countries did, they would not use weather as a war instrument. They signed it, the powerful countries of the world. But then, hello, you know that they can use it. They can use it. So now we got a board game. And truly, if there wasn't anything about the controlling of the weather, why would they even need to sign a treaty saying we will not use weather as a weapon? We will not engage in weather warfare. And then you got the weather machine board game. So I would like to look at that some more since I just found out about it tonight, just like 15 minutes ago. And it sounds really wild. I wonder what type of machines. Does anybody have this board game right here? Do you all have it? On here, hello, Applebrooks, honey. I think we scared T off once and for all. That's not nice. I feel really bad if I scared T off. I really feel bad. I do. Oh, no. Yeah. Good evening, you all. So, the weather machine. Jeannie, you got it on. You just got to get yourself together. I'm going to get myself together. We're going to go look at the weather machine board game. Excuse me. So look at this. We've got this. It's like, why do you have a weather machine board game? Why? Look at that. The board game Oracle. Rosie, is that you I hear breathing over there on the floor? Are you okay, Rosie? Yeah, I gotta check on Rosie because I hear her breathing. Rosie, are you okay, honey? Rosie, are you alive? Are you okay? Okay, you're okay. Okay, I heard Rosie over there. I thought she was breathing loud, but she's just laying on the floor. Maybe she was just playing. I don't know. The weather machine right here. Excuse me. Yeah, the evil side has to tell you the truth. So let's look into this. That looks kind of wild. Eagle Gryphon. You can see how massive this looks like. Let's see. Look, this reminds me of the universe. This kind of looks scary right here. And I'm not sure what these words mean. Martis, orbit, or outa. Look, we got okay. We got some sun. We got some wind. We got some rain. We got some tornadoes. What else do they got? The natal chart. It does look like a natal chart. You're right. It does. It looks like a natal chart. And look at this. A tutorial and play through weather machine game. Now, can we look at a... Oh, Gina, honey, that's not found. You cannot go there. You're going to get yourself in TROUBLE. And I'm not going to go look at their YouTube channel because I don't want to get in trouble. You can see right here, The Weather Machine by Donovan Bixley. This kind of looks like Minecraft. This is the digital rain vending machine. They've got a digital rain vending machine. That's great. We've got some countries right here. This person right here was actually asked by the Weather Channel to make a game based on the weather. Look at this, Mike Schwam. My third quarter, I had the opportunity to work with 2 designs on a live project for the Weather Channel. The challenge was to design a video game app for the iPad that in some way connected to the weather, and our ideal revolved around the 2 steampunk scientists who invent a weather controlling machine. One goes rogue and steals the machine to set out to terrorize the world. Nobody would surely terrorize the world with weather. The gameplay follows the other scientist as he tracks her down while battling adverse weather conditions as well as her robotic minions. Below is a more in-depth backstory that we presented to the Weather Channel. They got a scholarship and they revamped it. The designers are going to fix it up. So look at this. They got these people. Oh, she does kind of look wild and evil. So this is for the iPad. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 continents. 7 continents. With these different weather machines. That's... You have saved North America. Unfortunately, a terrible hurricane has begun in Europe and looks like you are headed there next. Look at that. You saved North America. You're headed there next. Touch an accessory to learn how you might use it and how many points it's going to cost you to use a certain accessory. Oopsie. I don't even know how that happened, y'all. Let me get out of that spot right there. Let me get out. Gina, you're talking about weather warfare. I am. The weather machine right here. Decoding the weather machine. Why is Nova... See, it didn't push it over. Why is Nova PBS name on that? Decoding the weather machine. Why is it being called a weather machine? Let's see where it goes. It's not going to go anywhere that you think. Okay, disastrous droughts. You know what it reminds me of? Disastrous hurricanes, widespread droughts and wildfires, withering heat, extreme rainfall. It's hard not to conclude that something's up with the weather, and many scientists agree. It's the result of the weather machine itself. Now they're telling you right now. Our climate changing, becoming hotter and more erratic in this 2-hour documentary, Nova will cut through the confusion around the climate change. Why do scientists overwhelmingly agree that our climate is changing and the human activity is causing it? How will we affect it? Whatever, warming, whatever, blum, blah, blah. But they said it's a weather machine itself. And there is a movie, and we got the Weather Machine board game. Look. Danny Dunn and the Weather Machine. No, they can do it. They can do it. We got Maui under. Smash the like button. Mickey honey said so. That's right. Thank you, Mickey. Yeah. Let's see this right here. This is oh wow, the weather machine. Now this was made for the Weather Channel. Look at this with their ray guns and shooting these robotic things all around. Gina, you all, I really like to push this button, but when I look at this, it shows me that I'm still on here, and my screen is not changing like it should change, and I don't like it. I don't. Yeah. Yes, he is so fine. He is so fine. He blows our mind, Applebrooks, honey. That's exactly right. We can say it. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and say it. We can do it. That's right, Mickey, honey. You can do it. Yeah. That's right. Now let's look at this. The weather machine. A journey inside the forecast. The weather machine. The weather board game. All of these board games. Okay, we signed a treaty not to use weather as a weapon. Of course. Here it is. I knew it was 1970 something, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't. So let's go to the weather warfare. We can go right here. Let's look at it with the United Nations. No, I don't want to. I don't even want to use your thing because you got this right here. I'll just click on the global research. I will. Does the U.S. military own the weather? And weaponizing the weather as an instrument of modern warfare. It was first published in 2017, the UN's Climate Summit. You can see right here, we're sending a disastrous signal. We got 2022 summer heat waves, wildfires, Western Europe, North Africa, California, India, Pakistan, China Valley, Yangtze River, simultaneously affected the lives of millions of people around the world, devastating social and economic consequences. The Yangtze River Delta has never experienced such high temperatures since historical records began. Okay, casualty events. I want to get to the agreement that they made. Okay, let's look at this. This is the Convention on the Prohibition of Military or any other hostile use of environmental modification techniques. It is worth noting that February 1998, the European Parliament's Committee on Foreign Affairs, Security, Defense Policy, and heard public hearings in Brussels about the motion and resolution, considers HAARP, by virtue in its far-reaching impact on the environment, to be a global concern and calls for its legal, ecological, and ethical implications to be examined by an international body. And the committee regrets the repeated refusal of the United States administration to give the evidence to the public hearing into the environmental and public risk of the HAARP program. Weather warfare right here, you all. We can see it right here. Weather modification, you all, will become a part of domestic and international security and could be done unilaterally. It could have an offensive and defensive applications and even be used for deterrence operation or purposes. The ability to generate precipitation, fog. They can do the fog, so we know we can do precipitation, which is rain, fog, and storms on Earth, or to modify the space weather. That's really cool. Well, it's not cool, space weather, and the production of artificial weather are all part of an integrated set of military technologies. Weather as a force multiplier. This is study commissions by the U.S. Air Force owning the weather in 2025. Well, we're in the year 2023. We have around a year and a half left, more or less, really, before we reach to 2025. And you can see what's happened. HAARP, DARPA, and you know it doesn't. It's not shut down. It is not shut down. The ultimate weapon of mass destruction, owning the weather for the military use. CBC acknowledged that the HAARP facility in Alaska under the auspices of the U.S. Air Force had the ability to trigger typhoons, earthquakes, floods, and droughts. Directed energy is such a powerful technology that it could be used to heat up the ionosphere, which is really like a global warming. It's global warming. We're in a microwave. Heat up the ionosphere to turn the weather into a weapon of war. Imagine using a flood to destroy a city, or tornadoes to decimate an approaching army in the desert. The military has spent a huge amount of time on weather modification as a concept for battle environments. If an electromagnetic pulse, an EMP, went off over a city, basically all the electronic things in your home would wink and they would go out and they would be permanently destroyed. There's no way around it. And if they go out in your home, they're going to go out in the homes of everyone else. All the street lights, everything is going to go out. Even if you have your stuff in a Faraday cage or something like that, and who are you going to communicate with? How are you going to get gas in your vehicles? How are you going to do anything? And if you use your equipment, you better make sure the satellites, if you have like a satellite phone, who are you going to call? And you know that there is equipments out there that can track your signals. So it's kind of wild. It's really wild, you all. Weather as a force multiplier. Owning the weather in 2025. You can see it right there. In 2025, the U.S. Aerospace Forces can own the weather by capitalizing on emerging technologies, focusing on the technologies of warfighting applications. It's a high-risk, high-rewarded endeavor. Weather modification offers a dilemma not unlike the splitting of an atom. Look at that. Some of the segments of society will always be reluctant to examine controversial issues such as weather modification. So we can see right here, enhance it. Here's what they want to do. They want to flood lines of communication, reduce all this kind of stuff, deny operations, fresh water, induce drought, disrupt communication radars, disable and destroy space assets, deny concealment. So they got the space weather, precipitation. They can keep it from raining. They can enhance the storms. They can enhance the rain. They can have the fog and the cloud come. They can detect hostile weather activities of precipitation avoidance, storm modification. You can choose the battle space environment. You'll have space weather. You can intercept and all of this kind of stuff, increase it. Why would we want to mess with the weather? Well, as we leap technology in the 21st century, we'll be able to see the enemy day or night in any weather and go after him relentlessly. Well, why do we have to have some enemies, really? Why do we? The triggering of storms. Then you have the CIA is involved in climate engineering, climate change technology. Look, weather modification technologies might involve techniques that would increase the latent heat in the atmosphere, provide additional water vapor for the cloud cell development, and provide additional surface and lower atmospheric heating to increase the atmospheric instability. They can trigger a storm cell. It's the pre-existing atmospheric conditions locally and regionally. And they can do large-scale dynamics, you all. Large-scale vertical cloud development. They can provide additional conditions that would make the atmosphere so unstable enough to generate cloud and eventually the storm cells. The path of the storm cells then, once they were developed or enhanced, is dependent not only on the mesoscale dynamics of the storm, but also by the regional and synoptic global scale atmospheric flow patterns of the wind, which are currently not subject under human control. I'm sure they are now. You got the CIA, spy agencies, 2015. Look at this, the globalization of war, the long war against humanity. Yeah, that's right. The long war against humanity, economic sanctions, and the thrust of regime change. And we got the weather machine. The weather machine. How do you play the weather machine? They got look at that. Now you know that weather looks really wild lately. Look at that supercell. Now there are some that do look like that in real life, just like that. Yeah. Muddy girl, honey, will you be looking at the moon or when is the super? When you said that, Muddy girl, I just got a high pitched frequency in my right ear. when I read that. It's a very high pitch. I want it out right now in the name of Jesus. Get out of my ear. Okay, it's gone. Yeah. Well, I don't know when the moon is coming. I don't. Yeah. Yellowstone ended. You also we got storms that do look like that. We really do, and they can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's a really cool looking picture. But they got the technology to do it. They got the technology to do it. How does Minecraft come in with this again? We saw Minecraft show up with a square sun and a square moon. And when we look at pictures of the sky and stuff, you zoom up really close and stuff, you see little cubed-like sections and things like that. Some person said we are like in Minecraft. They did. Like we're living in the world. It's like that type of a reality. August the 30th. Okay, that's a while away. If I can see it, I might be out there. If it's got bad energy, I don't know if I want to be out there in it. I don't. The weather machine. Tom, something of the weather machine. Alien concept, weather machines. Sim City. Decoding the weather machine. So they're acknowledging there's a weather machine, really. They're not just calling it that. No, they are acknowledging it. What is that? Okay, that's the thing too, the weather machine. Okay, so we got a board game if you're just tuning in. And it's called the weather machine. And we've got right here Minecraft doing the weather machine too. So there's something to it. We got some children over here. Weather tools and things like that. They're making their own rain on the computers. This is right in your face. It is so in your face right here. All of this stuff. Time machines also, Rose. Yeah. Less more hours duration climate weather machine. I'll be right back. Osiris' work is done for today. Don't worry, he'll be back soon enough. Well, what does that mean? How is Osiris fitting into this and the UFOs? Playing The Sims free play. How are the aliens involved? Are the flying saucers somehow the technology coming from the aliens? Are they involved and they're going to come back? She-Ra, welcome my son to the machine. Is that what She-Ra said? We were wireless. Yes, before we were wired. Gina, the military whistleblower, said the machines were in Antarctica before we found it in the treaty in the ancient techies said the weather earthquake machines. Wow. That's interesting. It is. It's all in our face. The weather machine on YouTube, Minecraft, Andy Parker, Warp Speed, John Kenneth Muir's Reflection. Wow, you wouldn't expect all this stuff on it, would you? Oh, here's okay. Decoding the weather machine. This is in PBS right here. See what else there is. Well, he is literally turned into an ice. This fog. You ever see this fog like this that shows up around your house or even around the areas that you live? And it doesn't look like a normal fog. Like I've saw this type of fog. It was just hovering, and it wasn't like there shouldn't have been no reason for it, but it was over a large swath of land, a vast area. But then you have the thing about the fog and these evil entities doing it. The second moon of the month. X-ray machines for searching. The credit card machine. The vast swath. Threaten. Oh, we got the gathering. Is this Magic the Gathering? Okay, yeah. Magic the Gathering. The Wild of Eldraine. I don't know I don't know the cards in those. Dolly Parton, you got a big snake on you? No, she doesn't. Well, she's doing something, you all. She is. Gina, we got way off of it. You're talking about the weather machine. I am. I'm talking about climate instability in the world. I really am. I was talking about, look, the climate researcher claims that the CIA asked about the weaponized weather. The hidden history of the U.S. When the weather was a weapon. Who said it's no longer a weapon? Really? Ripley's Believe It or Not, cloud seeding as done from an airplane on Ripley's Believe It or Not. When weather became a weapon of war, most of us are familiar with the efforts of certain to harness the nature use as weather weapons of destruction. Element hydrogen to make hydrogen bomb, popular science, weather as a weapon. I got the book Angels Don't Play This Harp, and I think I might got some other books on, that kind of stuff too. Weather control as a Cold War weapon. So it's been around for a really, really, really long time. Oh, look, one day ago. Why did they write this one day ago? Why did they? One day ago, you all. Is this what we looked at? This global research thing? It was one day ago, and you can see the different models depicting the different types of, I guess, temperature, weather, or something. HARP. Geoengineering, climate change, everything, you all. You can see it was done right here. They did really just released it August the 17th of 2023 is when this was put out there. Look, of relevance to the debate on climate geoengineering, INMOD, the first article was published by The Ecologist. It provides an overview as well as a history. It confirms the role of private military contractors in the development of HARP BAE systems. The Ecologist, you all. What happens if we click into it? There we go. We got The Ecologist, informed by Nature. Beware the U.S. military experience with climate warfare. I'm sure it's not just the U.S. military. I'm sure it's other militaries. And they've made it known. No, I don't want to be up to date with you. I don't. They've made it known right here. 2025. Final report. That's their final report. According to the U.S. Air Force document AF 2025 Final Report, it offers the warfighter a wide range of possible options to defeat or coerce an adversary. Capabilities, it says, extend to triggering the floods. They're going to trigger the floods, the hurricanes, the droughts, and the earthquakes. Weather modification will become a part of domestic and international security and could be done unilaterally. It could have offensive and defensive applications and even be used for deterrence purposes. The ability to generate precipitation, fog, and storms on Earth or to modify the space weather and the production of artificial weather are all a part of an integrated set of military technologies. In 1977, an international convention was ratified by the United Nations General Assembly, which banned military or other hostile use of environmental modification techniques having widespread, long-lasting, severe effects. It defined environmental modification techniques as any technique for changing through the deliberate manipulation of natural processes, the dynamic composition of structure of the Earth, including its biota, the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, and the atmosphere, or of outer space. Or I've never heard of this biota. What is a biota? I've really never heard of that before. That word, biota. What is it? Oh, the waters, marine life. Okay. Definition. Does somebody know what it is? DE of a biota. The living organism. Okay, It's the living organisms of a region or a habitat, the sum total of an animal or plant life of a given region or period, the equivalent of a fauna and or flora combined, a treatise upon the animals and plants of any geographic area. So now we know what that is too, you a microbiota. So the weather board, using weather as a machine. And how do you play it? Let's see, how do you play it? How to play the weather machine board game. How do you play it? I want to know how to play it. How to play it. I don't want to look at the no, I don't like to use somebody's video because I could get myself in trouble. And you can see that there's really no other way to do it. And I think I took this like that. How to play it. I'm not going to try to read it. I don't think he's going to tell us either. Natural disasters. I want to reject you. Will soon be a thing of the past, proclaimed Professor, the project chief of meteorological manipulation at Lightning Technologies. You think there is a company called Lightning Technologies? Let me see if there is a company called Lightning Technologies. Inc. Let's do an Inc. Lightning Testing Center of Excellence. The Lightning Technology Inc.'s Bloomberg. Well, let's look up Lightning Technologies and Development Services Certification of Lightning Protection for Aircraft and Other Complex System. Okay, so they got something like that. So they got a company called Lightning Technologies. Well, I'm sure that's not the only one. Test of his new invention, the weather machine. Positive results. Quelling floods, subduing cyclones, and ending droughts made him smile. Let's see this, you all. So this is what they were going to do. They're going to tweak the temperatures for the resorts and the sporting events. They have visions of quelling the floods, subduing the cyclones, ending the droughts. This made the person smile. But you can tamper with the local weather, adjust a rainfall for farms, maintain the wind and clear skies for ecological energy sources. You can tweak the temperature for resorts and sporting events. They can do that. The prototype is quite effective so far, so a pattern has emerged. Each use of the weather machine also alters the condition elsewhere on the planet, you all. The butterfly effect. Even though this is a game, I think that probably is true because if you do something, there is a cause and effect. The professor dreams of eliminating climate catastrophes quickly, and they evolve into a nightmare. That's what he did. His dreams of eliminating climate catastrophes quickly evolve into nightmares of ending humankind. Each test causes worse side effects. One day the professor burst into the lab with resolve in his eye, and he was stone-faced. Stone-faced stoics in suits. We must build the prototype. They're telling you what they did. The government is funding this, and we will succeed. The need to secure suppliers for sufficient bots. Chemicals is clear. Bots and chemicals, materials. They want to be focused in reining in the growing global terror, Earth's atmosphere, before the conditions are too harsh for Homo sapiens and countless other species of biomes. So they want to do it. They want to be scientists for as long as humanity survives, but you could go down in history as the savior of the world. Okay, you all. So they got these games and stuff like that, you all. It's like wild, the weather game, and I'm not going to. We know that it's out there, and the weather it's wild. It's so wild looking. I'm not going to go over to it. So they can do earthquakes, they can do lightning, they can do all kinds of things. They could. If you didn't know about the weather machine game, now you do. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the harp. Yeah, the harp thing. Because that's real. It is. And you wouldn't sign a treaty saying that you won't use weather as a weapon unless you had the technology, and you're certainly not going to allow another country's military to dominate your military. You're going to try to be the best military in the world. Yeah. It's a lot of events taking place, and humanity is having to bear the brunt of it. It is the very brunt. Doesn't matter about our lives when it comes down to it. It doesn't, because they got their weather machines. They can do what they want. Gina, can you stop them? You can stop them, Gina. No, I cannot stop them. I cannot stop them. I can raise awareness like everybody else. You can raise awareness and you can put information out there. You can write books and stuff, but in the big scope of life, it's beyond our human control. We can pray. We can pray for protection and guidance and wisdom to know how to survive this ever-changing world that is manipulated. Really, it is. Everything is manipulated in some type of aspect. It is. So I am going to go. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video, Weather Modification, Controlling the Weather, and the military, U.S. military owning the weather by 2025. That's not too far away at all. It's not at all. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you. And hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I really wonder if anybody watching this channel has this weather machine board game or even heard of it. That would be really interesting. It would. Good night, everyone. Rules are made to be broken. Let me hear this. Made to be broken. We do not want war under vision. No, we do not want war. We don't. That's right. I don't want war. War destroys lives. It does. It's horrific. It is. Sometimes war is unavoidable, but then sometimes it isn't. It isn't. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Love you. Gina, did you say hello wherever you are in any part of the world? I think I did.